The judo breakfall is the real reason why there are so many other modern martial arts and commercial self-defense styles around today. The judo breakfall is the only reason. There is no other reason. It takes real guts to take a judo breakfall over and over at every session, constantly slamming your body every day in practice. If you want to learn to throw, someone has to be thrown. So we take turns throwing each other in every practice session. The modern martial arts guys who develop modern commercial self-defense techniques without teaching judo breakfalls are truly cheating their customers. And we judo guys all over the world know that they are pure showboats. And they just hate being thrown because it hurts like hell every time. 30 days later, he left for DC. We both had water bags on both elbows and both knees from the hours and hours of pounding we took doing breakfalls in the hard sand with no mats. Both our gis were torn to shreds. I gave him my gi and a brown belt that I had earned as a goodbye gift. The next time I heard about him from his brother Joey, who was also a rookie on the beach patrol and did judo with me after work almost every day for a couple of years. But he told me that Dickie had won the All-Marine Corps Judo Championship, and he was invited to Japan to study judo at the Kodokan after his discharge. The Kodokan is the mecca of judo as an Olympic sport. Originally, it was developed exclusively and entirely by our only father founder, the word is Shihan, our only recognized sensei, our only teacher, a man named Jigoro Kano. He made his living as a PhD university physical training coach who was trained in jiu-jitsu and traveled all over the world to learn every fighting technique you could imagine. And he was experienced because he fought himself. And in addition, he mastered all other martial arts, no matter where they came from, all over the world. He put them all together and he came up with the concept of Olympic judo. As a great jiu-jitsu master, he knew that free fighting was the only successful training method, but it always hurt. There needed to be some protection for the practice sessions, and certain destructive techniques that we used had to be taught, and we had to use them in competition. So he took all his skills in ancient jiu-jitsu and taught them as modern Olympic judo with the addition of a breakfall. Judo is the practice of jiu-jitsu minus the punching and kicking plus the breakfall. And in any case, I'm going to show you what one looks like. I think it's time you saw what they look like and what they sound like and what we do hundreds of times at every practice. This is a judo gi. It is very heavy. This is a double weave made in Japan, usually the favorite of most competitors because it protects our body from these marks, one of which I got last night. When you put it on, you do it like any ordinary coat. You take your right hand, you cross it over your chest, you put your left hand over and you trap it. You take the belt, you let it be even, put it on your stomach, cross it around behind your back, pull it forward, tuck it under, and then as I tell the kids, have the rabbit jump over the fence and come up, and guess what? Voila, a judo gi and a breakfall. Thank you, son. Anyway, now that you see what a breakfall is, can you imagine that happening to you, being thrown over my shoulder and slamming you down at the same time? I lost a kidney in Africa, and I'm convinced it was a lifetime of breakfalls that caused the crystals to form in it that was giving me, well, I'll tell you about it later. Anyway, in Dickie's All-Marine Corps Championship match, during the contest, he beat 7 black belts in a row. And in his last match against a super heavyweight, he won to become the overall champion of the entire Marine Corps. And the referee of the match was the famous 2-time world champion Ishikawa from Japan, the man that taught all the Japanese military and police during the Second World War. I write words to describe people. Words aren't good enough to describe anybody. Dickie has no description. After the award ceremony that night, Ishikawa approached him and respectfully asked, "Can you do 500 shoulder throw, a repetition drill which we use to lift an opponent against mild resistance but not complete the throw?" Dickie answered, "Left or right side." That did it. That's the reason Dickie was invited to Japan. He was given a rare opportunity to learn judo from true Japanese masters at the Kodokan, which is the Mecca in Tokyo, and they take very few Caucasians. Trust me, I know. He insisted on training 3 times a day. He trained with the Kodokan team at night, he trained with the police team in the morning, and he trained with the university team in the afternoon. Now you can see what I mean by calling him indescribable. And by the way, bowing in judo is a Japanese custom that means only one thing: I respect you. It's a sincere and instantaneous recognition of my own inferiority, and it's from my heart. It is an expression sort of like, I can't take this bowing action back after I acknowledge I am inferior to you. It's a kind of a thing that's understood in the East and not very well in America. It means I salute your superior position. I always bowed to Dickie. He was pure samurai. He is my personal warrior king, my personal model for training and fighting, and yet the fiercest and most principled man I ever met in my entire life. We would meet many times later, and you'll hear about Dickie as we go on with the book. And now I'd like you to meet another very close friend of mine in chapter 10, called The Monk and the Samurai.